Blaze is in the mix.
Bang, 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 bang. Pictures of you in the sky.
Do you know who you are? Who you really are? Do you know you can be what you want to be? If you try to be what you can be.
Feels. I find it so amazing how you still exhibit love even though you've been hurt too many times. Beautiful black woman, I see the stars in your complexion and the moon in your eyes. You're more like an angel in a human disguise. As soon as I make it to heaven, the first thing I'll do is paint pictures of you in the sky. You have such a beautiful mind and immaculate natural skin. All the diamonds in the world do not compare to you, my African gem. And everything about you is magnificent and spectacular. No matter your complexion, you still exemplify the essence of Africa.
Yeah, you listen to Super Blaze. Let's
Bang, bang, bang.
fire!
Check. 1 2 1 2. You know what it is, man. This is the Autonomous Party Podcast and Mix Show.
Amazing how you still exhibit love even though you've been hurt too many times. Beautiful black woman, I see the stars in your complexion and the moon.
Shout to Love on Purpose. What up?
Like an angel in a human disguise. As soon as I make it to heaven, the first thing I'll do is paint.
Peace to the chat. What's up?
You have such a beautiful mind and immaculate natural skin. All the diamonds in the world do not compare to you, my African gem. And everything about you is magnificent and spectacular. No matter your complexion, you still exist.
Girl, magic, black, girl, magic. Beautiful soul, natural skin. Body look like you just got back in the gym. Natural skin.
I know at times I may not have the words to express to you, but even when you at your worst, I'll try my hardest to execute and bring out the best in you. I thank God.
Peace. What up?
Excellence and benevolent work.
You know what it is, man. It's the Autonomous Party Podcast and Mix Show.
Of heaven on earth.
I am DJ Super Blaze.
About you, your black.
Inside the campaign mix. You know what it is, man.
The soul of a million
8 to 9 o'clock.
Fire the happy.
Each and every Sunday.
Even when I'm lacking in patience, you still bring out the
A little
best.
entertainment, you know what I mean?
I would try to give you the world, but you can show me.
Give you a little vibrations before we
I pray to God that
we
you
kick off that knowledge, you know what I mean? What up to that? Set up, what's up to the chat for real? Shout to Love on Purpose, long time. I ain't catch up, you know what I mean? But your boy is here. I'm inside the building. Shout to Mac, Got a Green, Baron P.
Beautiful soul, natural skin.
Shout to the Fat Music Media Lounge. Big T, Double G, what up? Smoothie, what up?
Natural skin.
We just vibing, man, you know, on a Sunday.
I find it so amazing how you still exhibit love even though you've been hurt too many times.
We vibing to this lingerie real quick, you know?
Your complexion and the moon in your eyes. Beautiful black woman.
Shout to my Empress, them out there for real.
And the moon in your eyes. Everything about you is truly magical.
So-called black woman, you know what it is.
Yeah, you listen to Super Blaze. Let's go.
I really don't mean to objectify you, but you bad as a 10. Body look like you just got back in the gym. Beautiful soul, natural skin. Been asking your friends if you single or not. You really don't mingle a lot. So many kings and so many things, but you are the queen at the top. Feels. Bang, bang, bang.
Yeah, you listen to Super Blaze. Let's go.
Feeling like I'm sorry. I don't need no driving license. No. Just a beauty like an narcissist. Let her ride or die and steal the show. You know they try to drown me in amnesty, but I'm alive, they can't bury me. Now I'm wealthy and scholarly. Walk on the sea like I'm JC. Now I'm doing bigger, better. I'm changing atmospheres, levitating. The meditation clears the mind. Keep it so clear. Don't you let them use you. Keep your weapon near. Celebration is the only way out here. You gotta be tired of dying and burying people out here. I know it's hard cause they shoot first. They pull up, yeah, they click clack, they do dirt. They go home, then they'll get back. But they can't bother me, nah. Cause I'm not property. This is essential. Essential. Yeah. This the mission, yeah. To be free and clear. Living off the land feel like a trillionaire. This the mission. I ain't gotta care. Living on my dream and killing all the nightmares, yeah.
I'm away from that west side. No way. I just wanna make love. Bang, bang, bang. I just wanna make
Yeah, you
peace.
listening to Super Blaze, let's go.
I just wanna stay free, yeah.
DJ Super Blaze
Yeah.
is in the mix.
I just wanna make love. I just wanna make peace. I just wanna stay free, yeah. I just wanna stay free, yeah. I just wanna make love. I just wanna make peace. I just wanna stay free, yeah. Stay free, yeah. Yeah. I come from a city where it's really hard. I'm really from them projects. When I got, I really seen them dead bodies off in the alley. Real talk, no capping. It really happened. 11 months old when they murdered my daddy. Mama so cracked. I ain't even bragging. Whole life been drama. Whole life been pain. Childhood trauma. Whole life been a puzzle. Sometimes I struggle. All the time I hustle. Got that from my mama's side. Gunshots in my bedroom. They still got me traumatized. Yeah. So happy I'm alive. I'm an angel in disguise. I'm divine. Yeah. I done lost a lot of things, but never lost my mind, never lost my shine. Stay free as I stay free. Indulge in nightly conversations with the universe. Stay free. I ask questions like, stay free. What is the purpose of Lucifer? What do you prefer? Enlightenment or soul liberation? What is your inspiration? Is this experience just a simulation? I know life is a maze, but life is amazing. I'm just going through phases, living life in the matrix. I know life is a as I indulge in nightly conversations with the universe. I ask questions like, what is the purpose of Lucifer? What do you prefer? Enlightenment or soul liberation? What is your inspiration? Is this experience just a simulation? I know life is a maze, but life is amazing. I'm just going through phases, living life in the matrix. I know life is a maze, but life is amazing. I'm just going through stages, living life in the matrix. Yeah. Instagrams, anomalies, daffodils, and bumblebees, astronomy, trigonometry. When I die, will my karma really come from me? Metaphysics, quantum physics, a little science, and some religion, philosophy. All these prophecies, does it profit me? I know life is a maze, but life is amazing. I'm just going through phases, living life in the matrix. I know life is a maze, but life is amazing. I'm just going through stages, living life in the matrix. Yeah. Genocides and Twitter pages, dualities and limitations. iPhones, innovation, imitation, ancient civilizations, stimulation, simulation, generations, in the matrix. It's all a play, it's all a maze, it's all amazing. I know life is a... As I indulge in nightly conversations with the universe,
Yeah, you listening to Super Blaze.
I ask questions like, what is the purpose of Lucifer? What do you prefer? Enlightenment or soul liberation? What is your inspiration? Is this experience just a simulation? I know life is a maze, but life is amazing. I'm just going through phases, living life in the matrix. I know life is a maze, but life is amazing. I'm just going through stages, living life in the matrix. Yeah. Instagrams, anomalies, daffodils, and bumblebees, astronomy, trigonometry. When I die, will my karma really come from me? Metaphysics, quantum physics, a little science, and some religion, philosophy. All these prophecies, does it profit me? I know life is a maze, but life is amazing. I'm just going through phases, living life in the matrix. I know life is a maze, but life is amazing. I'm just going through stages, living life in the matrix. Yeah. Genocides and Twitter pages, dualities and limitations. iPhones, innovation, imitation, ancient civilizations, stimulation, simulation, generations, in the matrix. It's all a play, it's all a maze, it's all amazing. I know life is a maze, but life is amazing. I'm just going through phases, living life in the matrix. I know life is a maze, but life is amazing. I'm just going through stages, living life in the matrix.
Sometimes it make your mind dissolve, trying to solve something not meant for you to solve. You got to search for inner peace. Inner peace.
DJ Super Blaze is in the mix.
Yeah, you listening to Super Blaze. Let's go.
Sometimes it make your mind dissolve, trying to solve something not meant for you to solve. You got to search for inner peace. Inner peace. Sometimes you got too much involved, trying to solve personal problems you should solve. You got to search for inner peace. Inner peace. Check me out. To free my mind, I leave my house and hit the intercoastal. Sitting right in my backyard, this shit is really local. It's like my problems run when I sit by the water. Meditating, sitting still, I become the water. Jump off the cliff of life, release my parachute. The problems, everything's alright. At least that's what I tell myself until it hit the night. The spirit synchronized with my blood, I'm taking flight. My mind consumed. The devil said he moving in, but I ain't got no room. He wanna break me down and tell me up what I assume, but I just keep on grinding. up to my top chakra, feeling like a Buddhist on a mountain, sitting proper, traveling God, moving through the cosmos, space and time. But all I really know, I'm at my zenith, familiar with my inner peace because I seen it. Sometimes it make your mind dissolve, trying to solve something not meant for you to solve. You got to search for inner peace. What? Inner peace. Sometimes you got too much involved trying to solve personal problems you should solve. You got to search for inner peace. Inner peace. Everything is authentic. High beams, wrist gleam coming down your block. Painting pictures with these words, call me Basquiat. Everything authentic, we don't fuck with gimmicks. You can't rush the greatness, all you could do is high beams coming down your block. Pictures with these words, call me Basquiat. Everything authentic, we don't fuck with gimmicks. You can't rush the greatness, all you could do is
Yeah, you listening to Super Blaze. Let's go.
Everything is authentic. Everything is authentic. High beams, wrist gleam coming down your block. Painting pictures with these words, call me Basquiat. Everything authentic, we don't fuck with gimmicks. You can't rush the greatness, all you could do is witness. High beams coming down your block. Painting pictures with these words, call me Basquiat. Everything authentic, we don't fuck with gimmicks. You can't rush the greatness, all you can do is witness.
Black drop back, my stacks is on greatness. High level shit off top, you can't make this. Fuck the beat off guard, now that's rapist. Top laid back, the beans, now that's weightless. Gotta excuse me, y'all, I might break this. Ain't a perfect picture, y'all boys gon' need facelifts. Fall back a few, they fiend for thy greatness. Better cut before you take this. Cashmere playing golf with my 9-9. Can't fall off, they know that I find mine. Fucking with an OG in the fine lines. White pin them mirror on the all-time high. Shining since I came out the blind guys. Eating with my team, you cannot define eyes. Squares out of circle, boy, I divide pies. Truth so big, cannot deny lies, huh?
High beams, wrist gleam coming down your block. Painting pictures with these words, call me Basquiat. Everything authentic, we don't fuck with gimmicks. You can't rush the greatness, all you could do is witness. High beams coming down your block. Painting pictures with these words, call me Basquiat. Everything authentic, yeah, we don't fuck with gimmicks. You can't rush the greatness, all you can do is witness. Overseas singing melodies while I'm loafing. Smoking these 5 trees, you know I'm coughing. Bitch so exotic, that pussy, you know I'm lost in. Asset, allocation, you know I'm bossing. No Marriott, yacht master of my submarina. My workstation, Sabako, no man, I'm still cleaner. Talk like you got an army, but you ain't got no team. I just landed, nigga, smell like the Gulf Stream. You don't understand this, you better read a book. Look up Rap Genius, you better read my hook. I'm on another level, my shit be hard to reach. I can change religions, but they make it hard to preach. Thought you had friends, but you learned your lesson though. Pat these niggas down before you let them through the door. The game fucked up, I put it in the grapple. Painting pictures, nigga, Sistine Chapel. High beams, wrist gleam coming down your block. Painting pictures with these words, call me Basquiat. Everything authentic, we don't fuck with gimmicks. You can't rush the greatness, all you could do is witness. High beams coming down your block. Painting pictures with these words, call me Basquiat. Everything authentic, we don't fuck with gimmicks. You can't rush the greatness, all you can do is witness.
Check the humidor, I gotta keep a few or more. I'm from the gutter, man, I took them on a sewer tour. See, when you make it to the top, that's what you do it for. Sunroof visions, can't tell you when I see the floor. Hearing screams as I open the arena doors. Higher level, what they think when they see my decor. I do it big and now they swear that they see me before. Everything is luxury, got your memory sore. I do this shit for real, the bitches love my sex appeal. I'm turning heads and tearing sheets like they were orange peel. skills. Even my chick will break a fill of storage with her heels. See, I killed the game alone, y'all be adorning deals. Wet paint, foreign cost, that's a bulk act. Feeling like I'm hidden by the roof, so I lost that. If you're getting real money, you can toast that. Shorty hard up in the building, nigga, you can float that.
High beams, wrist beam coming down your block. Painting pictures with these words, call me everything is vintage.
Everything authentic.
Everything is classic. Cause ain't nothing new under the sun. That means it's been done before. But not like this though. Yeah, the guy flows giving with such precision. Flow like a Maybach, that's what keep me driven. Roof partition, scribing to the cosmo, omnipotent vision. I'm everywhere, tell me what I'm really missing. Traveling man, jumping past fifth dimension. P now, too wide open to see religion. Resonating way too loud for me to listen. Is you listening? Merc Kush jumping out the gym like Blake Griffin. Have your mind somewhere in the ethers missing. I cook food for thought and they proceed to listen. Cause my flow's nourishment and my words are living. See my tongue way stronger than that gun you gripping. Cause a big bang like the birth of earth was given. I get missing through the instruments and melody. I don't make music, I compose sound therapy. I think I'm Nick Tesla, Bob Marley, master of ceremony, nigga, I'm God body. Cracking up a bottle open and I'm calling Baron. Osiris Green, Mosra Beads got them knocks staring. I think I'm Jeff Fort, Noah Drew. Painting pictures with these words, man, it's what I do. Shouts out the Thriller campaign, nigga, what it do? Keeping everything kosher, no Jew. How I ride on the day that Noah would die. I'm a rule back, we supposed to ride. How I ride on the day that Malcolm died. By any means, I'm living my life. Hey, since an adolescent, been getting it right. Cause the people who were pressing ain't caring for life. Had to make my own way from nickel and dime. Till a nigga graduated and got me a pine. Where I'm from, man, them boys ain't playing around. Hopping out ski mask, they laying it down. Just because you match your description. Even though we all know it's fiction. All they really want to do is convict them. Forge his name or make up a victim. When it's feeling like the world is against them. It's all good, nigga, galaxies with them. It's all good, a galaxy with them. It's all good, nigga, my yacht with them. Hey. Shouts out to my ancestors. Oh, why? Thriller campaign. The real is. Live life always. Y'all know, my folks so serious. Woo! Jit Raw C. Trey, what up? Yogi. Himotep. Fresh, what up, nigga?
Pardon my autonomy. I know one day they'll honor me. This ain't pertaining to 28 Deuteronomy. Self-determination, controlling our situation. Ain't no more indoctrination from pale faces. How the fuck you bummy and broke with a pair of races? My lineage bring people of color with a left make each nigga. This right here maroon, now it ain't burgundy. If you plotting murder, I'm certain that you'll need surgery.
Bang, bang, bang.
This could take quite a bit of time.
Pardon my autonomy. I know one day they'll honor me. This ain't pertaining to 28 Deuteronomy. Self-determination, controlling our situation. Ain't no more indoctrination from pale faces. How the fuck you bummy and broke with a pair of races? My lineage bring people of color with a left make each nigga. This right here maroon, now it ain't burgundy. If you plotting murder, I'm certain that you'll need surgery. Hurt from when the burner squeeze. Protecting tribe business. Only consulting with governments tried to tribe with it. Please don't confuse us with those considered native. Semi-autonomy never was in our nature. Just address me as Estelusti. Wild Indian status and Cherokees riding Ruchis. In my war bonnet, if you want it, bring it to your region. And black horses, the same color the European. Pardon my autonomy. I know one day they'll honor me. This ain't pertaining to 28 Deuteronomy.
Bang, bang, bang. Bang, bang, bang.
Pardon my autonomy. I know one day they'll honor me. This ain't pertaining to 28 Deuteronomy. Self-determination, controlling our situation. Ain't no more indoctrination from pale faces. How the fuck you bummed me and broke, but a pair of races? My lineage free people of color with a left make each nigga. This right here maroon, now it ain't burgundy. If you plotting murder, I'm certain that you'll need surgery. Hurt from when the burner squeeze. Protecting tribe business. Only consulting with governments, tried to tribe with it. Please don't confuse us with those considered native. Semi-autonomy never was in our nature. Just address me as Esther Lusty. Wild Indian status and Cherokees riding Ruchis. In my war bonnet, if you want it, bring it to your region. And black horses the same color the European. Pardon my autonomy. I know one day they'll honor me. This ain't pertaining to 28 Deuteronomy. Self-determination, controlling our situation. Ain't no more indoctrination from pale faces.
Aborigines, which means what? Black folks. You never find a white aborigine. Aborigines are called natives, or they're always dark-skinned people. You and I are aborigines, but you don't like to be called an aborigine.
This could take quite a bit of time.
Pardon my autonomy. I know one day they'll honor me. This ain't pertaining to 28 Deuteronomy. Self-determination, controlling our situation. Ain't no more indoctrination from pale faces. How the fuck you bummed me and broke, but a pair of races? My lineage free people of color with a left make each nigga. This right here maroon, now it ain't burgundy. If you plotting murder, I'm certain that you'll need surgery. Hurt from when the burner squeeze. Protecting tribe business. Only consulting with governments, tried to tribe with it. Please don't confuse us with those considered native. Semi-autonomy never was in our nature. Just address me as Esther Lusty. Wild Indian status and Cherokees riding Ruchis. In my war bonnet, if you want it, bring it to your region. And black forces the same color the European. Pardon my autonomy. I know one day they'll honor me. This ain't pertaining to 28 Deuteronomy. Self-determination, controlling our situation. Ain't no more indoctrination from pale faces.
Aborigines, which means what? Black folks. You never find a white aborigine. Aborigines are called natives, or they're always dark-skinned people. You and I are aborigines, but you don't like to be called an aborigine.
Yeah, you listening to Super Blaze. Let's go.
Yeah, rhyme so dope, my eyes low. When you move like God, the time slow. I came back for the blacks and John Doe's. Crack open them land patents, let go of them town homes. What's a native to a native? He $5 dough if he not melanated. Pale faces got you waiting on a savior. Sending prayers up, he texting back on vacation. Yeah, God's children. Give all your praise to Jesus, but how God feeling? He say put no one before him in divine image. It's who we got of Christians. I got a vision, but niggas ain't gotta listen, so they don't. We came from the soil, wasn't fucking with no boats. Bible took our spirit, English potted on our homes. Tribal families turn on us, don't act like y'all don't know. But fuck them and they grudges. We was something turned to nothing. And now we let this turn to something. Reincarnation of angels, fresh up out the oven. This the message to the black man. 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 Shooters on my roof, lawyers in the coop. We can never die, bitch, we bulletproof. This the message to the black man. This the message to the black man. You wasn't slaves, you was prisoners of war. You stop wasting your time, these other bitches ain't important. You ain't meditating, you ain't mating with the soul. Like what the fuck's a noodle if you ain't painted with the sauce? I find it hard to trust the pastor who rather side with the master who preaching we should submit while getting murdered and captured. About how we should wait on God is never our vernacular. They get paid and praised by the dollar long as they keeping us stagnant. And niggas think they woke, huh? Like you could change a whole world through a vote, huh? Like slave masters willing to let their slave go, huh? That slave master was probably your kinfolk, huh? History in reverse, a black king strategy. When blacks were your majesty, they always hide your pyramids but point to where the castles be. Aristocracies with your last name patent accurately. Yeah.
Yeah, you listening to Super Blaze. Let's go.
DJ Super
I ain't even tell a quarter.
Blaze. It's in the mix.
I'm just getting started. Y'all niggas rap about busting guns and all this weird shit. I'm trying to get my people back, nigga.
No wonder why you don't get this. No, you ain't cross your T's and you ain't dot your I's. We got some unfinished business, nigga.
Bang, bang, bang.
No wonder why you don't get this. No, you ain't cross your T's and you ain't dot your I's. We got some unfinished business, nigga. No wonder why you don't get this. No, you ain't cross your T's and you ain't dot your I's. We got some unfinished business, nigga. Now come and take a look through my perspective. School of hard knocks and struggle, it was my elective. Shit was reckless, so I had to always cop the heckler. Put under pressure, so that's why the shells would get projected. My mind protected, I stay focused, boy, if you ain't noticed. When it come to my thoughts, I'm an S63, you just a Lotus. Your brain's small and compacted. That's why you contracted to a big-ass record label where the pay's lacking. But you ain't know that, too late to go back. I'm at the end of Roy G. Biv, where to go at. I paint the picture, you can keep the Kodak. My chariot awaits, I think it's time for me to go back to the realm, build it with supreme beings. Trying to build my mind to see what the Almighty seeing. Dark should come to light, so ain't no way that you can play us. I'm turning in my black fez for the Eurasians, nigga. No wonder why you don't get this. No, you ain't cross your T's and you ain't dot your I's. We got some unfinished business. No wonder why you don't get this. No, you ain't cross your T's and you ain't got your I's. We got some unfinished business.
I said paper on paper on paper. Ain't no genocide, we was killed on paper. Buried us alive in the proudest of the paper. They know who we are, swear they hate us cause they ain't us. I said bang, bang, bang.
DJ Super Blaze. It's in the mix.
Infamous Trey Ali.
I said paper on paper on paper. Ain't no genocide, we was killed on paper. Buried us alive in the proudest of the paper. They know who we are, swear they hate us cause they ain't us. I said paper on paper on paper. Ain't no genocide, we was killed on paper. Buried us alive in the proudest of the paper. They know who we are, swear they hate us cause they ain't us. I said gotta never die, never left us. Even though they took you home, he's still behind you like a catcher. Life is like a doctor, everybody want their checkup. Money, money, he been preaching, charge for a confession. See, ain't nobody focused on the bullshit that they told us. Always trying to pin you sick when ain't nobody came before us. We the best part of waking up before the Folgers. That's why they want your backs against the wall like a poster. Indoctrination being sold as education. Most of history they taught you came from some imagination. Roots was never true, fuck the whole compilation. Fuck Walter Plecker, fuck Alex Haley. America is Egypt, Israel, Queen Khalifa. Babylon used to dabble by NY, check my fever. Niggas think I'm lying cause they sleeping. But bitch, I ain't no fool shopping my toes every season. I said paper on paper on paper. Ain't no genocide, we was killed on paper. Buried us alive in the proudest of the paper. They know who we are, swear they hate us cause they ain't us. I said paper on paper on paper. Ain't no genocide, we was killed on paper. Buried us alive in the proudest of the paper. They know who we are, swear they hate us cause they ain't us. Guess I gotta start bad rapper, tell these niggas how it happened. Control is the goal, now you space like William Shatner. Technology's economy has overthrown your balance. Now your headaches come from waves, microcells up in your atmosphere. Fears how they take you, they expect you for being active and questioning all the requisites made to prevent disasters. Clearing out the Turkish dreamer, talking to the pastor. Got the online tithing, it's survival for the masses. They never loved our classics, but bite off our originals. Reclassify your favorite rhymes the way they did the Seminoles. I'm so black, proud that my inside's purple. If the world had never died, they probably never alert you. You need to venture out and stop sticking the circle. Strength and numbers react different to curfews. The movement not perfume, the streets ain't gold. Our summer so cold, we left the fall on froze. I said paper on paper on paper. Ain't no genocide, we was killed on paper. Buried us alive in the proudest of the paper. They know who we are, swear they hate us cause they ain't us. I said paper on paper on paper. Ain't no genocide, we was killed on paper. Buried us alive in the proudest of the paper. They know who we are, swear they hate us cause they ain't us. I said paper on paper on paper. Ain't no genocide, we was killed on paper. Buried us alive in the proudest of the paper. They know who we are, swear they hate us cause they ain't us. I said paper on paper, paper on paper. Ain't no genocide, we was killed on paper.
Yeah, you listening to Super Blaze. Let's go.
Rest in peace, Breonna Taylor, man. Job bricks. Let me talk to my people, man. It's been long overdue. Every time I took a L, man, I learned life. Where I'm from, you could get left if you don't turn right. Nowadays, you earn stripes, trying to burn pipes. Back in the days, we earned stripes, trying to earn rights. Look, I ain't trying to preach if you don't want to listen, but I advise you to listen if you love your children. Cause in this world, you could get stopped by a cop, and your kids might never know if they gonna see you or not. It's real. We unprotected and we unrespected. Rest in peace to Bree Taylor, hope y'all got the message. Our lives never matter, keep letting it happen. So what makes you think that it matters when you punch a ballot? We don't need equality, we need autonomy. We need our own governments, not apologies. We need our land back, not new technology. Aboriginal history, not new ideology.
Yeah, you listening to Super Blaze. Let's go.
DJ Super Blaze. It's in the mix.
Let me talk to my people, man. It's been long overdue. Every time I took a L, man, I learned life. Where I'm from, you could get left if you don't turn right. Nowadays, you earn stripes, trying to burn pipes. Back in the days, we earned stripes, trying to earn rights. Look, I ain't trying to preach if you don't want to listen, but I advise you to listen if you love your children. Cause in this world, you could get stopped by a cop, and your kids might never know if they gonna see you or not. It's real. We unprotected and we unrespected. Rest in peace to Bree Taylor, hope y'all got the message. Our lives never matter, keep letting it happen. So what makes you think that it matters when you punch a ballot? We don't need equality, we need autonomy. We need our own governments, not apologies. We need our land back, not new technology. Aboriginal history, not new ideology. I ain't saying put the guns down, we need violence. Cops kill us, all the gangsters better not be silent. We need to sit around and plan, we don't need riots. I grip my gun every time I see police sirens. Can't go to war with my brother if he weak-minded. You ain't a thug, you a warrior that need guidance. The Gullah Wars and the Haitian Revolution showed our ancestors really got violent for solutions. Reparation, restitutions, preparation. Start recruiting. BLM is not our movement, but I get why it's confusing. Either you winning or you losing. We won't lose for long. So black man and black woman was taking you so long. Unite. When I say unite, I'm talking about,
yeah, you listening to Super Blaze. Let's go.
You know what I'm saying?
DJ Super
We need to all
Blaze.
have self-government.
It's in the
We need
mix.
to all come together as people and do for self. Period. If you ain't trying to do for self and you keep trying to depend on somebody, they're gonna show you what you do when you depend on your enemies. Bro. Drop bricks. No, what up?
Bang, bang, bang. So we gon' die every day. Swear we gon' die every day. They said Jesus gon' save us. Well, I know we die if we wait. I know we die if he can't. They tell us we black, but we ain't. Aboriginal, native, yeah, we gon' die every day. Cause we don't know where we came. We been here, lived here, open borders, got deported, fought for rights. Kidnapped, bitch snapped, blacked out, covered up, washed white. Drugged up, slugged up, beat bread, left for dead, fuck your life. It's all a plan, kill your man, take your land, slave your kids, rape your wife. Why y'all look so mad if all this shit I say is true? Why y'all look so mad if all this shit happened to you? White man quick to tell you was a slave, nothing before. But he himself only been free since 1840. Gon' record it. I'm an ancient Egyptian from Atlantis, head straight for Canada, that's Israel. Nothing fake about me, no capping rapping. I just fed the ink and I'm digital. No caveman, I'm original. Kentucky fried, extra crispy. Where a lot of gold, cause my family history. I'm the guy to know I bring death to history. Swear we gon' die every day. They said Jesus gon' save us. Well, I know we die if we wait. I know we die if he can't. They tell us we black, but we ain't. Aboriginal, native, yeah, we gon' die every day. Cause we don't know where we came. Swear we gon' die every day. They said Jesus gon' save us. Well, I know we die if we wait. I know we die if he can't. They tell us we black, but we ain't. Aboriginal, native, yeah, we gon' die every day. Cause we don't know where we came.
Check. You know what it is, man. It's the Autonomous Party Podcast and Mix Show. It's yours truly, DJ Super Blaze, inside the mix right now. Campaign mix. Trey Ali, man. Let's go.
Swear we gon' die every day. They say Jesus gon' save us. Well, I know we die if we wait.
Shout to the chat. What up?
They tell us we black, but we ain't.
I see Trell. What up? I see Miss Annette Marie.
Cause we don't know where we came.
Miss Sherry, what up? Peace.
Borders got deported, fought for rights. Kidnapped, bitch slapped, blacked out, covered up, washed white. Drugged up, slugged up, beat bread, left for dead, fuck your life. It's all a plan, kill your man, take your land, slave your kids, rape your wife. Why y'all look so mad if all this shit I say is true? Why y'all look so mad if all this shit happened to you? White man quick to tell you was a slave, nothing before. But he himself only been free since 1840. Yo, recording, I'm an ancient gypsy from Atlanta, straight for Canada, that's Israel. Nothing fake about me, no capping rapping, I just fed the ink and I'm digital. No caveman, I'm original. Kentucky Fried, extra crispy, where a lot of gold, cause my family history. I'm the guy to know, I bring death to history. But we gon' die every day. They say Jesus gon' save us. Well, I know we die if we wait. I know we die if we can't. They tell us we black, but we ain't. Aboriginal, native, yeah, we gon' die every day. Cause we don't know where we came. But we gon' die every day. They say Jesus gon' save us. Well, I know we die if we wait. I know we die if we can't. They tell us we black, but we ain't. Aboriginal, native, yeah, we gon' die every day.
Ever since a youngin', I've been running, getting to the cake. Dog, you ain't 100, this 100. Let me demonstrate. If she ain't got brains, then I ain't tryna penetrate. And if you ain't a stand-up needy, you could get your dinner ate. I ain't buying all that real shit. Dog, you been a
peace to the fam. What up, Trey?
Now we on the interstate. Might be a rookie in the game, but I've been a great. And we about autonomy, dog. We ain't tryna integrate. Man, we ain't tryna integrate. Was broke back then, now the youngin' seeing different cake. We don't go off feelings, we just make sure that the business straight. And if you ain't an intellect, then you can't get a penetrate.
One time for Dr. Jock Briggs. It's all about autonomy, man. We ain't trying to integrate.
Ever since a youngin', I've been running, getting to the cake. Dog, you ain't 100, this 100. Let me demonstrate. If she ain't got brains, then I ain't tryna penetrate. And if you ain't a stand-up needy, you could get your dinner ate. I ain't buying all that real shit. Dog, you benefit. Took her on a dinner date. Now we on the interstate. Might be a rookie in the game, but I've been a great. And we about autonomy, dog. We ain't tryna integrate. Man, we ain't tryna integrate. Was broke back then, now the youngin' seeing different cake. We don't go off feelings, we just make sure that the business straight. And if you ain't an intellect, then you can't get a penetrate. Local need you, now I'm getting love all in different states. Gotta need you, if you ain't got scars, then you can't relate. Preach the niggas, I'm just trying to make sure that my people straight. Woke nigga in a sleep world, trying to keep awake. Man, I'm just trying to keep awake. Bodies dropping in my city, damn Perry, keep awake. How another black man, ya op, make it make sense. When the system got y'all niggas going through the same shit. Ever since a youngin', I've been running, getting to the cake. Dog, you ain't 100, this 100. Let me demonstrate. If she ain't got brains, then I ain't trying to penetrate. And if you ain't a stand-up needy, you could get your dinner ate. I ain't buying all that real shit. Dog, you benefit. Took her on a dinner date. Now we on the interstate. Might be a rookie in the game, but I've been a great. And we about autonomy, dog. We ain't trying to integrate.
Every day I wake up, make my
pull up. You heard me? Hold on.
I was about to go in, man. I was about to go in again. You know what it is, man.
It's about that time.
I got more in the clip.
But look, I know you got more in the clip. So what I want to do is, though, I want to say some shit real quick. But after that, I need to make my mind up and let you go where you was about to go with the next joint. And then we can come back and we can get started. So shout out to Music Media Lounge. It's your boy Mac K. It's the Twitter campaign. You know we in the building. TheAutonomousParty.com. This is the campaign mix. Blaze. You know what I'm saying? We'll be right back. You already know what it is. Top of the hour. Tap in with us. Blaze.
Let's go, man. We're gonna hit this. Let's go hit this black jacket real quick. All my melanated peoples out there, shout to you. You know what it is. Let's go.
Every day I wake up, make my mind up. I'ma be the one, be the truth, be the way. Yeah. Every day I wake up, make my mind up. Gotta keep my mind on the because they only tell a nice side of the story. I here telling lies like they on Morid and porridge. Kids get their money off on it. But down here in the hood, yeah, we know Forex. We growing up, yeah, we got the goods. Build them assets, build them up fast. Get for the cash before the whole market crash. A news flash, just a blast from the past. We gonna smash now. Be prepared to hit the gas, yeah.
Build a land, get the wealth, change your name up. Get the title in your hands, put your game up. Melanation, elevation, arise. We the vibe, blood eye, yeah, we travel. Drive. Blood eye, yeah, we travel. Woo. That's my tribe.
Shout to the tribes out there.
Blood eye, yeah, we travel.
Tribe Nation. You know what it is, man.
Sherry know I got from Virginia. I know I'm on because I'm
feathers up. Let me see them feathers out there. What up? What up?
I passed that test.
Let me see them bows and arrows and them feathers and all of that. Represent for the tribe. What up?
It's a brand new right idea. We got the hearts and some great minds, yeah.
Throw them up, throw them up, throw them up. What up?
Build a land, get the wealth, change your name up. Get the title in your hands, put your game up. Melanation, elevation, arise. We the vibe, blood eye, yeah, we travel.
Gotta play one more time, man. Black Tiger Melanation, go get that real quick. It's all over the web real quick, everywhere you stream, you know what I mean?
Every day I wake, I make my
Spotify.
mind up.
Oh.
I'ma be the one, be the truth, be the way, yeah. Every day I wake, I make my mind up. Gotta keep my mind on the because they only telling their side of the story. Out here telling lies like they on Morid and porridge. Kids get their money off on it. But down here in the hood, yeah, we know Forex. We growing up, yeah, we got the goods. Build them assets, build them up fast. Get for the cash before the whole market crash. A news flash, just a blast from the past. We gonna smash now. Be prepared to hit the gas, yeah.
Build a land, get the wealth, change your name up. Get the title in your hands, put your game up. Melanation, elevation, arise. We the vibe, blood eye, yeah, we travel.
Drive.
Blood eye, yeah, we travel.
Woo. That's my tribe. Woo.
Blood eye, yeah, we travel. Hey, hit him with the high, yeah. Sherry know I got from Virginia.
I know I'm on because I'm blessed. I know I'm on. I passed that test. We got to see with the true eyes. We need some brand new bright ideas. We got the hearts and some great minds, yeah. If we could all just be sincere.
Build a land, get the wealth, change your name up. Get the title in your hands, put your game up. Melanation, elevation, arise. We the vibe, blood eye, yeah, we travel.
Drive.
Blood eye, yeah, we travel.
Shout to Big OJ. What up, bro?
Blood eye, yeah, we travel. Build a land, get the wealth, change your name up. Get the title in your hands, put your game up. Melanation, elevation, arise. We the vibe, blood eye, yeah, we travel.
It's the last one right here, man. Inside the campaign mix until next week. You know what it is, man. Super Blaze signing out.
Y'all right. Still dancing this shit. You got me still dancing. You got me still dancing. You know what I mean? In my truck.
Bang, 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 bang.
Shout out to my wife with the spaghetti. Lord. Yeah, but you know what I'm saying? Shout out to everybody out there on this great Sunday, as they would call it. And yeah, it's the campaign, man. You know what it is. It's what the campaign, the heart's reality is. Live life autonomously. Maranatha to you. You heard me? Shout out to all my Esther Luciano Macario, my American Maroons out there. All my indigenous people that's marooned in America. You know what I mean? That's impacted by the Negro One Drop rule. You know what I'm saying? Be reaching out to you. You feel me? At the same time, shout out to all my other people, my family, you know what I mean? My people in my city. You already know what it is, 954-305-561, South Florida, Tequesta Territory. And you know what I mean? And yeah, man, outside of that, yeah, we had a special guest, you know, but things happening in Bahamas. We working it out. We're going to reschedule. It's going to happen. But shout out to my people in the Bahamas. You know what I mean? They call the Black Seminoles in history that they say made it to the Bahamas. So we're gonna get an exclusive. We're gonna get an exclusive from the Bahamas about that. So we're gonna make that happen. You know what I mean? So I look forward to that dialogue with my folks over there in the Bahamas. Shout out to them. Shout out to the Muskogee Maroons out there. You already know what it is. Next week, by the way, I'm gonna say it a couple times during the night. You know what I mean? We got 2 guests, you know what I'm saying? One of them has been on our show before, but he's actually the historian, and he's obviously a part actively of the Yamasee Muskogee Creek Nation out of South Carolina. And this time we got the chief, Say Cool, Hidden Eagle, pulling up on us for the show next week, Sunday. So make sure you're in the building for that right there, top of the hour, right after the campaign mix. That will be our guest. It's going to be about who are the Yamasee past and present. You know what I'm saying? It's going to be a good one. I'm telling y'all, get ready for it. Flyer drops tomorrow, by the way. You know what I'm saying? So you'll see it on all our platforms, on Instagram, Facebook, you know what I mean, Twitter, whatever. We put it on, it's going to be out there. So tap in with us. Oh, yeah, and shout out to Aboriginal Wall Street, you know what I'm saying? Aboriginal Wall Street, you know what I'm saying? Last week, every first of the month, going into December, you know what I mean? We'll give you 4 of them, you know what I mean? Then we're going to take a little break. We'll be back in spring type shit, you know what I mean? So, we appreciate everybody that's tapping in. And look to what we're doing with Aboriginal Wall Street in real time. I'm going to say it like that, in real time. We're going to aggregate with that one. That's what the campaign going to do. Yeah, autonomously. Am I missing anything? Oh, yeah, Maroonville. You already know. We do Maroonville every year, you know what I'm saying? We actually coined it this year, dealing with the campaign joint. But retreat of the autonomous party, you feel me? But obviously the goals is to have Maroonvilles all through the 50 states type of vibe so that we can network with our people that's been, impacted, you know what I'm saying, like we have, and understand how to move autonomously in a collective, you know what I'm saying? Real time, boots on ground. Shout out my man Back, you know what I'm saying? You be like it is a boots on ground, you feel me? Back for what's mine. That's what we coming back for, you know what I mean? Autonomously speaking, so we're gonna move in that manner. So tap in with us, look forward to those things. So that's why you're gonna get reminders like that when we have random discussions with the party. Maroonville, because when we do it, that one big one once a year, you'll know to pull up to it. You know what I'm saying? You already know what we're doing. We rented it ahead of time for all our American Maroon people. Shout out to the Esther Lucian Macario. You did. Pull up our guests, man. That's before we get involved. It's the party though, so it's really not guests. So, they still, here tonight with us. So I'm gonna treat them like guests. We put up to the crib. You already know what it is. Party lounge vibes, you know what I'm saying? 9 Ether J, what's popping? Can y'all hear me out there?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can y'all hear me?
You sound kind of low. Hold on. Say something again.
Yo.
Yeah, you good. You good.
What's good, Mac? What's going on, man?
What's popping? I'm chilling, man. I'm chilling. It's just, what you say?
I said tapping in.
Oh, appreciate you pulling up on us in Maroonville. Feel me? We're going to treat this like how we do Clubhouse. You feel me? Some people don't know we can do it like that. You know what I'm saying? We on the fly. This can happen at any given time. You can get it. However you want it. What up, Nine? You there? Okay, there Nine is.
I'm tapping in. I'm setting up.
Okay.
Give me a second.
Okay. Ain't no pressure. I got some current shit. Can I show on one of these TikToks that I was showing? I want to show something to y'all with one of these TikToks. It's actually 3 of them, but I got 2 of them. Just current shit that I seen that I want to share with Maroonville. You know what I'm saying? So randomly. Yeah, we could let's do that one first. Let's do the white boy first. You know what I'm saying? Listen what the white boy got to say. I want y'all to tap in and tell me what y'all think. After you listen to it, you know what I'm saying? Just give me your thoughts in the chat about what he's about to say, what you hear. Hopefully this thing playing right. All right. But I just thought about something, I wanted to share this in Maroonville. That's how we do it on Clubhouse when we come across, random things that's interesting. Tap in with us. Check this out.
So as I shared before, I was a white Christian conservative who became friends with a black Muslim in prison. His name was Rashawn Clark. Rashawn was sentenced to 20 years in prison at the age of 16 for one felony charge. I, on the other hand, have been to prison and back home twice now for a total of 14 felony convictions, and Rashawn is still doing time from a charge from when he was a juvenile. So when I met Rashawn, he told me that there are two justice systems, one for people like him and one for people like me. And I did not believe that. I told him that we're all responsible for our actions, and the choices that we made led us to both being in prison. And if we didn't want to be in that position, then we just need to make better choices. Don't commit crimes. He said, fair enough. That's easy enough for you to say, but it's not that black and white. He said there's a lot more complexity and depth and racial disparities in sentencing. He said, I, as a 16-year-old, uneducated young black male, when I went in front of that judge, I was rendered irredeemable and as a thug or a predator. He said, you, on the other hand, when you went in front of that judge, you were just the all-American boy who lost his way. He proceeded to tell me, you'll never know what it's like to be black in America. He said, you got to understand black history. And he proceeded to tell me about the 13th Amendment, the abolishment of slavery except when punishment for a crime. And he told me about Michelle Alexander's book, The New Jim Crow. Now, I ended up reading that book, not with the intention of changing my mind, but with every intention of being well-versed in the debate. And this is what happened. I believe everybody in the world needs to read that book and watch this video. A lot of people ask me, what was my aha moment? What made me change my perspective? And it's when I saw this. So a black person in the United States during the Jim Crow era faced second-class citizenship, disenfranchisement, barriers to voting, barriers to education, barriers to employment, and barriers to housing. Then we had the 1964 Civil Rights Act and the 1965 Voting Rights Act, which stated we could no longer do any of this. We could no longer discriminate based on race. So in 2023, what is the only group of people that we can legally discriminate against? We can legally relegate to second-class citizenship, create barriers to voting, barriers to education, barriers to employment, barriers to housing. If you answered convicted felon, you are absolutely correct. In 2023, a convicted felon is the only group of people that we can legally do all this to. Now, do you believe it's a coincidence that 1 in 3 black males carry this label as convicted felon as opposed to 1 in 17 white males? If you answered yes to that question, let's take a look at what's happened since the dismantling of the Jim Crow laws. We've had a 700% increase in our prison population. We've gone from 300,000 inmates to as high as 2.3 million. Now, I do believe we're back down to about 1.8 million today. We had the law and order agenda, which was an increase in police spending and a decrease in school funding, which created the school to prison pipeline. We also had the war on drugs, which we now know was a war on people. We had the 1986 Anti-Drug Abuse Act, and we had the 1994 Crime Bill. Now, the 86 Anti-Drug Abuse Act differentiated between rock cocaine and powder cocaine, which we know predominantly impacted the black community. And the 94 Crime Bill created harsher sentences, lengthier sentences, and minimum mandatories. We also know that black people make up 53% of all exonerations, 69% of exonerations for drug crimes, and they're 7 times more likely to be wrongly convicted. So when I seen all of this, I realized that racism in this country never ended. We have a systemic issue.
You on mute, Mac.
He said we have an extended issue. That's what I said when I was on mute. My fault. You know what I'm saying? So what y'all thought about what the white boy was saying though right there? Anybody disagree with that?
Nah, I don't disagree. He wasn't lying, but I'm curious to see what the charges was. Nah, he never mentioned that part.
He didn't. But at the end of the day, I ain't getting involved in his personal business. I really want to look at just the layout of the understanding that he understood that even though he did a crime and the black man that he's friends with did a crime, that the black man that he's friends with, he found out, is definitely being treated in the eyes of the law differently from him. You know what I'm saying? I think that right there was what stood out to me when I was showed this.
Right, yeah. It sounds like a status issue, man. What you think?
I think it sounded like a status issue, definitely, for you to be able to treat a person. But some people would say that, no, it has nothing to do with being in the condition of being a black person. You know what I mean? It has nothing to do with it. That's what they would say, But however the case might be. Now, what you think about it? Now, you there?
Yo, he
Okay.
he on point. He on point. I do participatory defense. So right now the numbers is we make up 14% of the population, but we consider 53% of the exonerated ones, and that's in violent crimes. Most of that 53%. So he's on point, because if you only make up 14% of a population, how does that population get 50? They account for 53% of those that are exonerated, not those that are fighting appeals and doing different cases. 53% of those that are exonerated. That's profile, a billion percent. So he's on point.
Mm-hmm. He was being honest, man. I thought the man was being honest. Sometimes you got to be honest. You hear it from anybody, you be like, okay, yeah, he's telling the truth. You know what I'm saying? You can hear the truth from anywhere. You know what I'm saying? So I thought that he laid it out too. He did the little. I'm like, okay, all right, bro. I ain't mad at you. I could go with that. All right, cool. All right, I got one more before I get into some things that I really want to talk to you about. You know what I'm saying? Historically wise. So I got one more current joint. I'm gonna play one more current joint. So, shout out to Nancy. She brought this to me. I was like, yeah, this is interesting. So we go. My wife, this is shout out to her. Go ahead. Play this one right here.
There is not a damn thing wrong in that song.
We gotta find a way to make this song racist.
Liberals are saying that Jason Aldean's new song is racist.
And if you listen to the lyrics of the song, it doesn't allude to anything racist at all.
Went on iTunes, I bought the song and I gave it 5 stars.
Here we go, even I'm talking about this shit. Many right-wing dumb fucks like the ones you've seen in this video seem to be so confused as to why the left is so outraged. So confused, in fact, that their justifications for this song seem to be approaching Kevin Hart levels of comedy. So let's start with level 1, the dog whistles. Jason sung his Try That in a Small Town song in front of this courthouse. Conservatives offered the justification of,
so okay, that happened about 100 years ago. That is one thing that happened there. You think that's the only thing that's ever happened there in the history of existence of this building?
No, and it wasn't just one thing, it was 2. A mob hung a young black boy in 1927 from the balcony of that courthouse. And Columbia, the place that the courthouse is in, was also the site of a 1946 race riot that nearly resulted in the lynching of future Supreme Court Justice Thurgood Marshall. Regardless of whether or not he knew the history of that courthouse, someone on his team probably should have. Coupling that with some of the imagery from the music video that's supposed to be reminiscent of the unrest we saw during the Black Lives Matter riots. Supposed to be reminiscent of, because creators like Destiny Stark, who by the way has literally been receiving death threats and being slandered and doxxed for pointing out racism in this song. But mind you, this song has no racial undertones, never have pointed out how some of the protest footage is literal fucking stock footage.
And I discovered that video is actually from stock video footage. Now, in Jason Aldean's video, they didn't use the entire clip because that would give it away that it's not in America.
Despite Jason Aldean saying,
there isn't a single video clip in the entirety of his music video that isn't actual news coverage.
Almost as if he was going to great lengths to paint a narrative. Triple this with other lyrics used, like right after he says, "Tried that in a small town," he says, "full of good old boys raised up right if you're looking for a fight." Good old boy being a term used to refer to Southern white men who often had loyalty towards in-group and had conservative or intolerant viewpoints. This same term being scandalized in his home state of Tennessee after an annual law enforcement gathering entitled the Good Old Boys Roundup featured racial slurs and simulated lynching in the 1990s. Quadruple this with the choice use of a particular newspaper excerpt in a promotional video on Jason Aldean's TikTok page, which Danny Collins looked up, and
down in the bottom right, it says time, the weekly. It looks like the date says May 21st. Right here, you have the date, the weekly, the May 21st time. And if you read Mr. East's response, he goes on to tell Mr. Gross that he was called an in-lover. And according to this article, he was ostracized from the community. He was spat on. He was threatened with violence. His newspaper lost all its subscriptions. And why would this happen to Mr. P.D. East? Because he tried that in a small town. He challenged the Southern racist establishment.
Add on yet again that over the course of lynching's popularity, his home state of Tennessee seems to be the state with the 8th most amount of lynchings in the entire country. And combining all those together, is it possible that he missed everything? Yeah, but I'm starting to believe that that's the very problem here. Now let's get into the political justifications. Conservatives seem to be saying that the left is mad about this song because someone's finally calling them out on their bullshit.
Leftists are upset that somebody prominent in the music industry like Jason Aldean would dare call them out on their bullshit.
The real reason why they hate the song is because it is someone standing up to their nonsense.
And some seem to have provided a multitude of arguments, so hopefully this bullshit that we're being called out on is something that is actually wrong about the left and not things that the right has deluded themselves into believing they're correct on.
So obviously in this first part of the song, Jason Aldean is calling out the explosion of crime that has occurred in America over the last couple years. Crime explosions that have happened in cities governed by left-wing politicians.
Democrats run 76% of the top 100 cities in the United States. So if there's a crime increase, they're probably going to be in a Democratic city. But if we zoom out and look on a state level, for the last 21 years, the gap between murder rates in red and blue states has been increasing. From a low of 9% more murders per capita in red states, all the way up to as high as 44% more murders per capita in red states. Altogether, in all 21 years, the red state murder rate has been 23% higher than the blue state murder rate. And those aren't COVID numbers.
Are we supposed to just pretend that explosions of violent crime haven't happened in cities across America?
Whereas this source you're using points to things like fewer cops on the streets, reduced after-school and nonviolence programs, court systems that are under strain, and mental health issues because of the fucking pandemic for why crime increased. Because this source is from 2021. Not even your source says that this is because of Democrat police policies.
And that the left-wing prosecutors who govern these places have refused to enforce the law. After all, Manhattan's DA Alvin Bragg downgraded over half of felony cases to misdemeanors during his tenure.
Nor is it a Democrat prosecutor thing. Because while Bragg has downgraded 52% of potential felony charges to misdemeanors, 3 other boroughs in New York did this more than Bragg did. And this is a common practice for prosecutors in general because they're often operating on more information than the police have. The same evidence that establishes probable cause is not the same evidence that establishes beyond a reasonable doubt. So let's pause for a second. He was completely oblivious to all the racial undertones of the words he put in the song, but he was aware of all these in-depth statistics that don't even help his political views. And then you try to say that he was calling out the BS that took place during the BLM riots.
So obviously in that next part of the song, Jason Aldean is calling out left-wing rioters. I know the left just wants us to pretend that these riots didn't happen. They want us to pretend that there just wasn't 100 straight days of rioting in places like Portland, and that entire communities weren't burned to the ground, resulting in the most expensive property damage in insurance history.
Which is funny, considering that one of the first sentences in this whole article says the protests that took place in 140 U.S. cities this spring were mostly peaceful. This source is also not saying that this is the most paid out by insurance of all time. It's setting a record for damage caused by civil unrest, considering that this source also goes on to say that these losses are small when compared to losses caused by natural disasters. When this article was published in 2020 at the beginning of wildfire season, it already caused $1.5 billion in damages. In 2018 and 17, wildfires caused $18 billion and $15 billion in damage. But ain't you the same motherfucker who made fun of Greta Thunberg for talking about climate change? It seems as though y'all blow that number way the fuck out of proportion in order to paint the BLM protests as way more violent than they were.
He's talking about people taking care of each other. And I find it so interesting that it never occurred to Jason or the writers that that's what these folks were doing.
Did she really just say that the people who were destroying towns, literally looting, stealing, committing crimes on camera, that they were just taking care of each other?
Also, the Black Lives Matter protests were peaceful 93% of the time. And in cities like Portland that had sustained unrest, it was confined to specific blocks rather than spread out throughout the city. But because of literal fucking propaganda, up to 42% of Americans believe that most BLM protesters were violent. Reinforcing the narrative that Black Lives Matter protesters are dangerous and violent with shitty stock footage, even though by some estimates, BLM protesters were actually more peaceful than the civil rights movement, which is something that none of you will speak down upon. Remember, guys, this can't be racist propaganda stoking fears about black people. Hey, you know who else saw a crime spike? How about the town he's been living in since 21, Nashville? Because, you know, most cities did. In fact, his hometown of Nashville is the 4th most dangerous state capital and the 18th most dangerous city in the entire country. But it says the homicides are concentrated to a few areas. But BLM violence was concentrated to about 10% of the places that saw protests and about 7% of the overall times there was a BLM event at all. And the rioters were more of a concern to him. And then level 4, the legality of all this shit. Because, oh yeah, you can't just fucking shoot looters. Try that in a small town, see how far you'll make it down the road. What are you advocating for doing? Burning the flag is quite literally a First Amendment right. What is Jason Aldean and his gang of people from a small, totally not sundown town going to do to me if I burn the flag? Why would me burning a flag require Jason Aldean to take care of his own and do something to me? Even if all of the racial dog whistles and everything we've talked about is complete bullshit, are we just going to ignore the fact that he's literally saying if you come and riot or if you commit crimes in my small town, we can just hunt you down and kill you, that vigilantism is not legal. I guess if 21 Savage saying wet of umbrella means that black people are just going to start shooting each other, what the fuck? The left has every reason to be outraged by this. Conservatives' whole job at this point is to bog us down with unwinnable culture war arguments. And y'all still get blown the fuck out in a culture war argument. I need to stop playing in my fucking face like we don't know what this dude is talking about.
Oh man, young men. I gotta throw the young men in there sometimes, man, because he went through a lot of work to go through all them sources and debunk all the people. He was on a rant. Like I was like, oh, okay.
Yo, Mac.
What's up?
I put a link in the chat. Let me read this, but you can pull it up if you want. It goes with this. It says black people represent 14% of the U.S. population, but they account for 53% of all people in this country who were falsely convicted of a serious crime and then freed after serving at least part of their sentence. That's according to a new report by the National Registry of Exonerations. For more details on this, we are joined by NPR race and identifier reporter Alan Wise. And Alan Wise say, I'm just going to read one part. So the report found that black people are about 7 times more likely than white people to be wrongfully convicted of 3 major crimes. That's homicide, sexual assault, and drug offenses. Reason for that range from these things like deliberate police misconduct to the fact that a lot of times people have really hard time identifying individuals who are of a different race than they are. So 53% of all exonerated cases, and they're violent joints.
Right.
You sexual assault and violent crimes. The only one that's not violent is the drug. But it's letting you know if it's 50 million of us, we are 7 times more likely to be pulled over, profiled, and arrested for something wrong. That is untrue.
I think it's kind of interesting where you can think about back when they first passed this situation, and a lot of people, can be pulled over, walking down the street, and can say you broke a law, and now you're a felon. And even though you before was, a free person of color, you're in this position now because you have a charge against you that, ain't nobody going to come to rescue the charge like how we have today. Thankfully, a little bit better lawyers and stuff for those who need, attorneys to defend them and stuff. However, pro se or whatever the case might be, affidavits and stuff, people are doing more things and more understandable than some of the people back then that was just getting hoodwinked by this provision, that new Jim Crow situation. You know what I mean? Especially if they was able to put you in the status of a Negro. You know what I mean? And then that 13th Amendment thing kind of puts you in a position to where you were just given supposedly this status to be a part of the situation unless this happens. You know what I'm saying? But then when this happens, being that you were able to be wrote in on the amendment side of it, we can hit you over the head. You know what I'm saying? Because you know what? You were never really a full person of their system in the first place. How they
Factual. And think about pre-1865. You going into jurisdictional things. You might have been in Indian territory, and then you traveled into their territory, and you profiled. Why? Because we need labor. And that labor came by way of that system, the prison industrial complex. So it's on point.
Yeah, so I thought that was why I wanted to just, current situations you hear people talk about. Even the last joint you see, they even threw the first white boy, forget his name, so I'm just gonna say it like that. And shout out to him though, because he literally dropped that, you know what I'm saying? And I ain't biased. If it's hot, it's hot. And the other young man just now is pointing out a song, you know what I'm saying? It's about countryman in his small town saying if you did something in a small town, and it has a history in that small town of literally lynching people and doing stuff at the courthouse. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, okay, yeah, don't want to run through your town today, which is not a sun town, but you have that kind of pride of your town. And I ain't mad at you though. You know what I mean? Because if I guess if you guys have your bylaws and constitution in that small town, and you go into that small town and you do something they don't like, maybe that's why they're saying what they're saying, and they're making songs about it, huh? Yeah. Shout out to Jay. You know, he made a song about the autonomous party. So part of my autonomy. Maroon Jay, what you think? What you think about that? You know what I'm saying?
Shit, I ain't get that from the song when I first heard it, but it's hard to argue with dude, man. He got sources. But
Yeah, it was kind of.
yeah, I ain't take that from it. You know what I'm saying? But like you said, we got to be autonomous, man. We got to have our own, and that'll solve a lot of them issues, I feel.
Definitely so. I appreciate you tapping in with us, by the way, too. This thing now though, this thing of ours we're gonna conversate about right now is really interesting. So you know, on Facebook, something I because the things I be looking at what comes across my screen, and in some some Moorish folk I know that of the temple, and certain things dealing with the history, because I'm not here to talk about their creed. You know what I mean? For everybody has a right to a creed, just like Obama says everybody has a right to a nationality. So however you self-identify and your self-determination of that, I'm here to be biased about that. You know what I mean? When it comes down to the situation though of just the historical part, it's really where I'll be questioning. See, because that's what we do. Like Ghostbusters and Gravediggers. I'm a mix between the two, like Indiana Jones, the dark skin version, Swarthy version. Feel me? Let me get this joint with George Washington real quick. See what I'm saying? I wanna no, matter of fact, no, I gotta walk him down right. Give me American. Give me American. Is it American or America I got there? I want American. Yeah, I want the word American. I want everybody. That's the word for the night. It's tied to walking with George Washington in a minute, but all this correlates. So I want to see what y'all share this with y'all randomly of thoughts. So no. Type in the search bar, and you got to put American with the N, please. In that same joint, use the same we're using the same website. Yeah. Now make that bigger for folk to see. Because it's going to also hit some other folk, one rock, two birds type of vibe, slingshot. See, I know a lot of people going to have to catch this. This is the etymology of the word American, noun, not adjective, but a noun. So, noun is dealing with the people, right? So the 1570s originally, it's 1570 now, you know what I mean? Which is obviously prior to 1619. It's prior to 1605, King James, 13 colonies, 8 lord proprietors, etc. Right? 1570s. Originally, one of the Aboriginal people discovered in the Western Hemisphere by Europeans. From modern Latin Americanus. I like to say Amacario. From America. The original sense is now Native Americans. The sense of resident of North American, the sense of resident of North America, of European, and it says originally British descent, is from 1765. Now, I want y'all to look at this date, 1765, where it lands right there at 1765, because it's going to take me to where I'm going with, George Washington thing. And prior to even the 1765, we know what Benjamin Franklin, if you've been following our platform, or Lee Cummins and other people we've been dealing with, we know what is going on in 1751 with Benjamin Franklin. We can take you back further, James Anderson, and these statements about who is immigrating into the what we call 13 colony territory in the mid 1700s, 18th century. So this right here, 1590, pertaining to the Western Hemisphere and its Aboriginal inhabitants. From modern Latin, Americanus, from America, the sense of pertaining to the residents of North America, of European, and again it says right there, originally British descent, is recorded by 1640s. Later, pertaining to the United States, French American, Spanish, and Italian, German, form Americanus, attested from 1838. No, hey, ain't it got a green 90th and everybody? Isn't some of them places that's mentioned in this the same places that Benjamin Franklin said some swarthy people were coming from?
Factual. Palatine.
Right.
Germany. England.
You see the names in it, right? You feel me? And but now understand how all of them, because of the colony that set up the 13 colonies, as it says, is the British. You see what I'm saying? Somebody that might not catch what's going on here, it's just to let you know that British, because of King James, the Scottish lineage nobility now took the throne, what later in 1707 became Great Britain. But the merging started with James VI, right, of Scotland, and the first of England in this United Kingdom understanding of lineage of a people, stewards and them like that. However the case might be, though, the thing that obviously needs to be understood, though, coming back before I go on, gotta go. The original sense is now Native Americans, and it says Native Americans, the sense of resident of North America, of European. So that, is it from me understanding is 9 and J? Is it not saying that the Native people in 1765 of the area of North America are of British descent? Or am I reading that
Like
wrong?
to me. That's what it looked like to me.
That's what it looked like to me. Originally British descent at this time in these colonies.
Right. Is that from? Am I reading it right? Anybody get in the chat? You know what I'm saying? What y'all thoughts is now? You see it is there. It'll give you a chance to marinate on that. Is that what that is? Or am I tripping? Is it not saying that the original people, one of the Aboriginal peoples discovered here by the Europeans?
The original sense was 1570s, right?
The original.
The Aboriginal people.
The Aboriginal.
They're saying that is now called Native American. The original sense is now Native Americans.
Right.
From that.
The sense of resident.
Sense of resident.
Resident.
America, of European, originally British descent is from 1765.
That definitely goes into the word native.
But it's still, if you're a resident of this territory,
Native American.
You're native now, you're American. You know what I mean? You're considered, even if you're of British descent, you're American going into 1765. No, because it's going to go to something, and I want everybody to see this, because it's something that kind of aligned dealing with this 1765. King George III. Since the German is thrown in here too, right? The Hanovers are on the throne in 1765. King George III is on the throne in 1765, right? So, if that's the case, then, now that we've gotten to this time frame, because I can't get to George till I let you know about this part. Can I get the Royal Proclamation real quick? Just to make sure everybody sees what's going on. Because when I say Aboriginal, or the original people, and obviously they ain't disappeared nothing, so the Aboriginal people going into 1763, which would be 2 years to 1765, you have this Royal Proclamation. You know what I'm saying? And this Royal Proclamation is tied to, again, King George III. It's a document that set out the guidelines of the European settlement of Aboriginal territory in what is now North America. You type right? You trying to make which way? You trying to? I can't read that. Oh, okay, my fault. I'm about to make sure now. And it says the Royal Proclamation was initially issued by King George III in 1763 to officially claim British territory. Claim officially, it says that right? Am I reading this right? Everybody catching that now? Or to officially claim British territory in North America after Britain won the 7 Years' War. See what I'm saying? So at this time, after the 7 Years' War, this is when he's laying out the territories of the British and where they're gonna reside. You know what I mean? Amongst Aboriginal people that are obviously living in North America as well. In the Royal Proclamation, ownership over North America is issued to King George. However, the Royal Proclamation explicitly states, you can scroll up a little bit, that the Aboriginal title has existed and continues to exist, and that all land would be considered Aboriginal land until ceded by treaty. The proclamation forbade settlers from claiming land from the Aboriginal occupants unless it has been first bought by the Crown and then sold to the settlers. The Royal Proclamation further set out that only the Crown can buy land from the First Nations. Most indigenous and legal scholars recognize the Royal Proclamation as an important first step towards the recognition of existing Aboriginal rights in title. The Royal Proclamation as an important first step towards the recognition of existing Aboriginal rights in title, including the right to self-determination. In this regard, the Royal Proclamation is sometimes called the Indian Magna Carta. The Royal Proclamation set a foundation for the process of establishing treaties. So you see how I say it's set up for the treaties now to be done and negotiated between the British, and the Aboriginal people. Feel me? Because it's now officially setting the residential boundaries for them that's settling the land amongst the Aboriginal people, from my understanding of 1763 Royal Proclamation, and why I was saying what I'm saying about 1765 and the word American, dealing with North America. And that's why they got British there, right? In American etymology of the original settlers going into 1765. Who else are they talking about going into 1765?
Sounds like this for the alley oop right here.
Who else who's controlling before the American Revolution? We're gonna walk back a little bit. Obviously, again, we always try to remind you of Benjamin Franklin, what he said about the swarthy, Blackamoor folks that's coming and descended from out the regions and would be subjects of the jurisdiction of the 13 colonies coming into North America. Obviously other places as well, islands that they went to too. But North America is what we're talking about, because this is what King George, and obviously don't forget, because he was in territory in Jamaica. You know what I'm saying? He had territory in other islands. You know what I'm saying? Obviously Australia. He's the first king of Australia, even though he's the last king of North America, technically, based off of what happened in the American Revolution. And King George and George Washington start to come into play. You know what I mean? Start to come into play. You asked me, Mac, why are you going through all this? Jay, is there anything you want to say about this before we move on? Because I just wanted to make sure that was.
Nah, you good. You good.
Yeah, do your thing, yo.
All right, good. So, I want to make sure that's laid out, because some people seem to like skip over some things, I want to make sure that's done. Understand who's making the treaties from 1763 amongst the Aboriginal people of the land after the 7 Years' War, which means the French are no longer in control of the land, and the boundaries and who's doing what has to go through the Crown. Has to go through the Crown. That's what it's going to tell you. Establish a monopoly over Aboriginal lands by the British Crown. Now, outside of their territories, the Creek, for instance, they were dealing with all three. Neutrality is something they wrote into what they were doing before this time frame. So they already kind of understood what was happening, and it was like, we're going to stay neutral. All we do is handle the trade. We dealt with the French, we dealt with the Spanish, we dealt with the British, because they were here dealing with these people before America was even called America by these groups of people in the Aboriginal territories of what today we call the Southeast Territories of North America. So is a big mountain range that we call today the Appalachia, was actually the Aboriginal term for these groups of people. Mississippian culture. But however, I just want to lay out those things that you so you can understand the bounds and leaps and bounds and what's that term they use? Leaps and bounds? Leaps and bounds. So when you go read this whole thing for yourself, you can kind of get a grasp of what territory um actually is the residential area for the British colony subjects and citizens, etc., of the colony in this time frame of 1763. I'm gonna keep it moving. We're gonna pull up. Give me the joint about George Washington real quick. This is where this comes in. My question came in, right? This is when my question came in tonight. You know what I mean? We're like, hold up, because we know all that right there. Well, at least I'm telling you, I know, so I'm sharing it with you. And because of George Washington and the role he's playing, which is about 1763, 1765. So that's 9 years later, which is 1774, the Continental Congress. The Continental Congress is meeting, you know what I'm saying, right before the mega Revolutionary War, and they're having their disputes and obviously, you know, you can go look at the dialogue of what George Washington is in his position going into this time frame right here. You know what I'm saying? So make it a little bit bigger on the side right there. Because this is where it gets interesting, see. Because we know about this Continental Congress of 1774. We know about that. You know what I mean? We went and looked it up. You know what I'm saying? We're like, yep, they definitely met dealing with the British situation. They were trying to break away from the 13 colonies, King George III. And going into this time frame, George Washington is supposed, you know, a general. He's not a president yet. You know what I'm saying? He's a general. But the thing that they say in here was the interesting thing that we're like, hold up, you going to dig this up. You know what I mean? Because where did this come from? And where can we find it documented that George Washington said it? It says chairman of the Continental Congress of 1774 is documented saying, if we agree to take fezzes and turbans off the Moors' heads and remove the sandals from their feet and enforce it with severe punishment and also wear a death oath between ourselves to religiously and faithfully not allow anyone to teach the Moorish children whom they really are or who their forefathers were, and only allow the Moorish children to be taught that they were truly Negro, black people, and colored folks. George Washington stated that 200 years from today, the Moorish people would not know their nationality nor the national name of their forefathers. Also, they would not know from which land or ancestors they descended from. Now, let me tell you something about this whole thing that's being said now, though. Because what I see today, we know factually, but people definitely didn't know who their forefathers were. They definitely were labeled in the system Negroes, black people, and colored folk. Over the time frame from George Washington stated, from his time frame to 1774, right? So 1774 to 1974 would take us to a little bit right after the civil rights era. And definitely even at that time, we can still see after, you know, Malcolm X making statements in 1968 about, you know, Aborigines and people didn't understand that they forgot definitely who their forefathers were. But I don't see the actual document with him making the statement of the fezzes and the turbans off the and sandals and you know what I mean during this time frame. I just because there's some things when you go look into them, we can't do it all tonight. Trust me, you know how we is. But I just want to make you think about it. And if you're interested, you go do your research and you might come across something and share it with us. That's how we do it. But I'm telling you, we haven't found the document of him saying this. We found things like, you know, Facebook, right, and stuff like that. And I mean, I found some other stuff. Like I said, I found, go back to the top real quick. The Continental Congress of 1774. That document is there. You know what I mean? Library of Congress. It's going to show you all the people involved and everything. So it don't even play out right, to be honest with you. When you read the Continental Congress 1774 meeting in Philadelphia. There is some things that we have found though, right? That George Washington did say. You know what I'm saying? Guys? But it don't say anything about this part. So maybe someone got a document we don't know about. Because we got the documents in him talking to the Sultan, letters and stuff. You know, we got that, huh? That's all over the place. We got the letters him saying, you know, thank you for the protection and everything. You know what I'm saying? And we owe you some money, and you know, you're a great person, and yeah, he was doing all that. He was kissing ass. He was kissing. George Washington was kissing the man's ass. You read it, you know what I mean? He was like, hey, look, man, you know, you looked out for me, man. I owe you some gold. You know what I'm saying? Shit, what you want me to do? I'm working it out. He even said that he didn't even, by the time the letter got to the man was already dead. That's some shit. The man was dead by the time the letter actually got to him of George Washington sending all this shit to him about wanting to pay back debt. So yeah, man. Before we move on, Nine and Jay, what y'all think about this situation right here?
Well, yeah, I do want to say, like, you know, as far as them wanting you to not know who your forefathers are, that should let people know how important it is to find out who your people really are. Because it was an effort put by some people to make sure you don't, you know, find that out. So I just want to throw that out there.
I agree, dog. I think that was like the cryptic part about it, right? That part sounds true, but it's the fact that we know though in 1751, and even when I read the American part and the British descent part, that we know that 13 colonies were bringing in people we would call today, and what we find tied to the term Swarthy, British folk would be Blackamoors, right? And that the Blackamoor folk, they were called Negroes coming out of these colonies, were definitely, you know, of these areas that they descended from, based off of what, you know, other founding fathers are saying. So, you know, it don't make sense too, because see, the person,
Black people and colored folks.
yeah, come on, it's not even, that's not what even on the paper at that time. But see, at the time frame of it too is what they fucked up at. See, where they fucked up at is that Benjamin Franklin already had dealt with, or already was in contact with Morocco. You know what I'm saying? Prior to even George Washington being in a position to deal with what he was dealing with in the first place. You know what I mean? And we already know that in the time frame of Benjamin Franklin making his observations of the world, that he's already, you know what I'm saying, very aware of the complexion of the people around the world that he's dealing with. You know what I'm saying? In diplomatic affairs. You know what I'm saying? In his observation of the world. So I think that goes over people's heads. You know what I'm saying? Type in Benjamin Franklin relations with Morocco. It'll come up. But however, you ain't gonna walk down that rabbit hole tonight. I just want to throw that out there about the George Washington part. What else? Do I have anything else to go with that right there, though? Because I wanted to show something else. I think it was something to go with that. That's it? That was it right there, right there? Okay, yeah. So yeah, what y'all think about that real quick though, before I throw my thing out though on it. What you think? In the chat, what y'all think?
Nah, I think it goes along with the whole vibration of what they're trying to conceal. It's self-explanatory.
Yeah, these dark-skinned folk of the 13 colonies that they ended up disenfranchising and calling them Negroes when originally they were the residents of the 13 colonies going into the American Revolutionary War. Does that sound about right to you?
Facts. Definitely.
You know, because let me tell you something that's interesting though too. Now, I gotta give George Washington credit for what he did do, in my mind, of knowing what he did. That's tied to, like you said, the concealment of things. That's tied to the time frame when he is in position. Like, because in 1787, when he do what he does with that Muhammad dude of the Alawite dynasty of Morocco, you know what I mean, Sultan buddy, and then also in the same time frame, there's certain things taking place while he's in the position of, you know, president. That the Northwest Ordinance is done. You feel me? In the same year, in 1787, there's a government set up for the Northwest Territories expansion outside of the resident boundaries that was originally set up by King George III in 1763, showing their expansion out of the region once they, you know, claimed this land as United States of America outside of British territory and shit like that. So what I'm getting to is not only in that same 1787 that the Northwest Expansion Ordinance, the Northwest Ordinance takes place, that in 1791, you know what I mean? While he's also doing certain things, we have a African lodge that's being set up, you know what I mean? For a particular, for folk that had been disenfranchised that originally fought in that American Revolution War, who knew that they were a part of the colony and knew that they were subjects of King George III, which means that their ancestors descended from the territories that King George III and those kings of that colony controlled. Wouldn't that be that, y'all? What y'all think about that?
That's a fact.
When they say British loyalists, or you know what I mean? So they say British loyalists, right? So the ones that didn't agree with the United States Continental Congress and all that stuff we dealing with George Washington and the founding fathers of the Continental Congress situation, the ones that didn't agree with that were called British loyalists, that obviously were subjects and fought on behalf of the colony that took control of North America going into 1763, is the ones who descended from or were subjects of that territory of people, and then now are labeled Africans and also labeled Negroes in the sense of their complexion, but also Africans in the disenfranchisement of their descendancy being actually the residents originally of the 13 colony territories. How you the original or something, and then all of a sudden you become having me written back in with the 13th and 14th Amendments? And then obviously them folk, because of what's happening, are mixing in with the Aboriginal people of the territories that are outside of the residence territories that was set up by the 13 colonies after 1763, right? I don't know if y'all catching where I'm going with this. Is anybody catching where I'm going with this? Does anybody disagree with anything I'm saying right now?
I definitely don't agree. That's why I'm not even interjecting. Keep cooking.
Right, keep cooking, man. You got it.
No, because I'm really that's my random, because outside of what I heard when I seen that, I saw it, I'm like, okay, I feel where you're going with it, but I think there's a misdirection because we know the Swarthy, Blackamoor, it said Morris race, and we know that is a race can descend from a nation of people when we understand nationality. So if a Moorish race of people are living in a territories and become subjects to crowns and sovereign powers over hundreds of years, and then all of a sudden they're imported or immigrating from those territories into another territory and get kind of like what we like to say marooned in their own residency. And then people don't want to tell us about some turbans. These dudes came over here with the European outfit on. Whatever culture over there of the British, which like I said in 1707 earlier, is when it shows you that the Parliament of Scotland, actually the British Parliament, came together, which is prior to 1765, which means if you say you got Scottish lineage, Irish lineage, Wales, Cornwall, wherever your surname is tied to with your lineage genealogy from them areas, the people came over here as British subjects. And the contracts were tied to that colony. I hope I'm making sense. That's what that's what I got on it on a Maroonville Sunday. You feel me, in September? Because when we go down a rabbit hole and I look at a lot of other things, it could take me somewhere. I want to make sure my point stands on that of descent, right? You know what I mean? That word descend, where you descend from, and the politics and the history and everything that goes along with it. You know what I mean? Because as Estelusti lineage goes, we know we're tied to that word American very, very much so. I feel like, technically, I got that actual mixture that's in the etymology of the word America that we showed you. The Aboriginal side and the British descent side. But my British descent side were black and war, meaning swarthy people. And some of them, in some cases, and some of your people, in some cases, inside that residency, see, I said it, residency of the colonies after 1763 were white as snow in a status standpoint, even if they had swarthy complexion, and they were able to do certain things because they were in good standing up until a certain time frame of the American Revolution, and things obviously took a different course when United States of America, the Continental Congress, was able to now pull away. But George Washington definitely is a person you would want to pay attention to, because I like to say, like I told y'all, Benjamin Franklin before, he on my list. George Washington, he on my list. You see what I'm saying? I got some folk, Albert Pike, on my list. See what I'm saying? Of founding supremacists. And at the end of the day, when I say that, because they were about their people, however and their agendas for that collective group of people. And it was about supremacy about it. You have to like it or not. You know what I mean? When you look at the ops, you have to respect the ops for what they did and why they did it, to know in the mind state of what you're dealing with. You know what I'm saying? So in my reality to you, just to tell you all this is, pay attention to the revolutionary time frame and where your peoples were at if you got to that time frame. Because through lineage, you actually can find around that time. You can get to the, 1775, 1760, 1750s. You know what I mean? And you can find where your people was at, and you find certain things that kind of point to the storyline of what's going on within the culture of America at that time. The ethnogenesis, I like to say, of that time frame. You know what I mean? Some people like to go back anciently, you know what I mean? We can do that another day. You know what I mean? But what we try to get people to really focus on, something that we know can really reach back and touch, you know what I'm saying? Through generations of what you can find on the books. Because in 1791, not only did that lodge, African lodge that say was set up, Prince Hall and them, but the first census was taken, right, guys? In 1791, on behalf of the United States of America, setting down their enumeration of residency. See now, 1790, my bad. So 1790, there's a new residency set up, like how King George did in 1763. You see what I'm saying? And now you have to be counted as a resident of that now new jurisdiction. Underneath now the new identifiers of that time frame of that new jurisdiction. Are y'all catching where I'm going with this? Are y'all catching where I'm going with this?
Yeah, I'm catching. Yo, Maroon J, put that avatar up, bro. It's in Telegram.
I got you.
This is what I'm trying to get people to see. And it's all there if you go walk it out. You feel me? Because some people, like I said, some people want to debate about, if when dinosaurs and what humanity came out of what part of the rock, I'm in the plane of action. You know what I mean? Because I'm on the plane of action, and I gotta move with the time of action. Feel me? Even though I can sit still, things are still moving, and we can't let time pass us by. You know what I mean? And we got to pay attention to the time we're in now. And when you look back at your forefathers, as they say, honor your mother and your father. That's what it says actually in your religious books. If you supply, you should know that naturally, right? You honor your mama and your father, which means your greats and your greats and your greats before them, back to the ancient of days. So however that lineage lay out within your book of your tree, you know what I'm saying? As you restore it and reform back to the ways of what your traditions is within your lineage situation, you want to see the full picture of how your family might have been, disenfranchised in terms like the Black codes or the Noir codes or Jim Crow or Jim Crow 2.0 played a role in the Negro One Drop Rule and all those things we be talking about. Esther Lucy. So shout out to my Esther Lucy, because we're the ones that have these things in common with history from easily 1763 coming into now. Would y'all boys agree? I mean, men, would y'all men agree with me tonight? How we talking? Am I just, if I say anything that sounds
I
crazy?
definitely agree. $1,000,000,000%.
For sure. Anybody in the chat that might disagree, you know, that's what we're here for before we slide tonight. We're going to get out of here in about 10 minutes. You know what I mean? We ain't going to hold you all night because, you know what I mean, we just pulled up like how we, you know, we do. This is really the couple of things that we had to share with you. And we appreciate everybody that taps in for our live. And, you know, share this with some other folk too, because at the end of the day, what I really want to know is if you find that document, I want to see the actual document. George Washington saying it. We've been looking for it. Like I said, we found the 1774 joint, so we're looking for it. You know what I'm saying? And I just want to make sure that that is understood. You feel me? I want to make sure that's put out there, that we're looking for that source. You know what I mean? So we can, because if it's there, then it might add something to an element, because we do know about the Turks and the Moors and different people who were obviously not disenfranchised in the same way, because now they outside of the residence that's being set up in 1790, see, with the census, we also know that there's subjects within the jurisdiction in 1790 of the territories of now what's being set up in the Northwest Ordinance and all the things that's going on. There is people they were labeled as Moors who are subjects, though, of Morocco because of the trade system and things that are going on. I think there's a cutting of a cherry tree of a real group of descendancy of Black or Moor of British descent, and now you're giving an actual residency because of this treaty to the Turks and the Moors of the Moroccan situation in this time frame. Did y'all know that Abdullah was also a master mason? The Sultan?
Oh, yeah. He was definitely a master mason.
Yeah. So, you know, that's all I'm saying. It's a lot of wars that also was like a lot of people said at that time frame when George Washington them did that, then they were like, oh, you know what? France and a whole bunch of other places were like, you know what, we don't have no, we doing treaty with Morocco now. We ain't got no war against Morocco. Feel me? So now Morocco comes a major trading place. You know what I'm saying? For all these European powers, but this is after. And so it's interesting. It's like, wait a minute, what's really going on here? Just some things that make you think. You know what I mean? What you think now before we get out of here tonight, man?
I think definitely, and Georgie was straddling on the fence. So he was doing his thing. I just put a link in the chat where he was speaking. These are his letters concerning the so-called Negro. But in one point of the joint, he's writing letters back and forth to his peoples on saying who to hire, who not to hire, who to deal with, who not to deal with. But in that link I just put in, they're talking about wagoners and gunmen for their little particular army. It says the difficulty of getting wagoners and the enormous wages given to them would tempt one to try an expedient to answer the end of easier and cheaper terms. Among others, it has occurred to me whether it would be eligible to hire Negroes in California, Virginia, and Maryland for this purpose, speaking of wagoners. They ought, however, to be freemen, for the slave could not be efficiently depended upon. It is to be apprehended they would too frequently desert to the enemy to obtain their liberty and for the profit of it. Basically saying, hey, if you got those subjected, don't hire these dudes. You can hire the freemen for our cause, but don't hire these dudes. Like, because you can cause an issue where they can either, you know, get up and go and fend for themselves or go with our enemy, because George knows he got enemies under the English crown, under the UK and Britain, and there's two different systems out here. There's freemen, there's multiple systems, but just dealing with the Negro, you have a free man and then you have a indentured or a slave. But those are his letters. Anyone in the chat want to grab it up? These are letters pertaining to just the enlistment of Negro soldiers in these wars at the time. And it's extensive to the point where he goes on to explain, why you should not do this. And they had how I say it? They had it in their minds that the less freemen out here is the more better for their colonies at this time, because now they done took it over. They done took over the whole situation. And like Benjamin said, it's just too many people out here anyway with that color, that swarthy color free.
Too many swarthy folk walking around. We got to disenfranchise these folk ASAP.
Got to
take them out their residency. We got to disenfranchise them. They built into the franchise of the residency of the original 13 colonies, and we got to now take them out of the majority position, and we can't do it by the numbers at this time. The only way we're going to be able to do it is do it by the status standpoint. So we got to put them in this position once now we have set up the new situation. That's cutting the tree. See what I'm saying right there?
Tree, definitely.
He's cutting the tree. George Washington's cutting the cherry tree. But the cherry tree ain't tied to what they telling us. Is tied to the original residency of the original people of the 13 colonies, and taking their history away. And that's what got whitewashed. Just like how we know that the original Aboriginal people, who also are dealing with these original people of the 13 colonies in this time frame, are also being disenfranchised from their territories, especially if they're dealing with the original people and not siding with them. You know what I'm saying?
Factual.
Just to put that out there. You know what I mean?
And they signed up for that revolutionary time and that whole thing where they're going to start to really infringe upon and expand the 13 colonies that they just usurped. So now they got to set up that whole flow going forward.
He game. So when you don't understand that residency time frame of where they were fighting up there in like the 13 colony territories and stuff like that, and when they say runaways now, see, people are got to look at who are they running away from. You know what I'm saying? Who is running away? Because see, when they be like, oh, it's African runaways. Wait a minute. These folk are the original residents of the 13 colonies. They're leaving out of the residency of the 13 colonies because of what's going on inside the 13 colonies. With the war going on. And now they're living amongst the Aboriginal people territories that King George III made the leaps and bounds for. You know what I'm saying?
And that's only 150 years. That's a 150-year time frame from 1619 to that time, where you have all these free Negroes of color, and even those coming over, like Anthony Johnson and all these other people that are coming over from England and gaining their freedom through the indentured servitude process and getting hundreds of acres of land at this time. That's causing a problem. In 150 years later, they're looking at, damn, not only those Benjamin Franklin people that he spoke about that has been here, you got these people coming in, and they're coming in as servants, even though history and colonial education done deemed them slaves, like Anthony Johnson. He came from England on a ship, James, direct from England, but now history says he's an African. Why is he an African? Do you have the manifesto from Africa to England? Because you got the manifesto from England to America, to the colony that he stepped into in 1620. And by 1630, he's a free man, and he's got 250 acres. He's setting up his sons. He's doing business. He's leasing land. These are the people that George Washington comes around and says, damn, we got a problem out here.
We got a problem on our hands, sir. So yeah, this is why I be saying what I'm saying about all this too. See, because you just said that it was something I was gonna say, and I had lost my thought because everything you were saying, I'm trying to like keep mine but listen to you at the same time. You know what I mean? And I'm like, damn, damn, it was something that you had just said though. Well, Jay, before Jay, you've been quiet. There's something you want to say, man? I want to leave you out of the conversation. Is there anything you want to say about what he just said? Anything you heard while I'm gathering myself before we close out? Jay, you there? Treat it like Clubhouse. You might we wait for the mic for the moment. You know what I'm saying? No pressure.
But my thing is, where's the manifesto of those
Right.
coming in, those people coming in? We got the manifesto of them coming in from England, Europe, France. They got those manifestos. And then later on, you're saying they are Africans or slaves. When they were servants and they came in as servants, they did their time. You don't have the manifesto from Africa to England. Therefore, don't put an African label on them because they're phenotypically Negro.
I agree with you. I like how you said that. That is really the case. What we were trying to explain to folk. Even though I know somebody said, that Europe's Africa 2.0. You know what I'm saying? But it's like, all right, nations are nations. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And I guess if we're dealing with nationality, I'm going to be what nation I'm a part of before I come into America. I'm not going to be of the race of what I might racially self-identify as. No, I'm coming over here in the 16th century and I self-identify as a Scottish person. You know what I'm saying? Oh, he slid off. I don't know if he meant to do that. He probably clicked the wrong thing. Is he back there? He fell off completely. He pulled back up. But yeah, either way though, you know what I mean? That's the whole thing. People be skipping over nationality, especially at the time frame of being subjects. And you know what I mean? This is what, you feel me? People gotta understand what's popping. Oh, look at that. Oh, look at that little I see you. Part of my autonomy, Jay. Maroon Jay.
Yeah, it's
Look at
fly,
that joint.
right?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
fly though. I like that though. And now I made that for you. You still got your other joint on the screen though. You can take the other
Yeah,
one
you
down
you
there.
kick that one off. Yeah, you
Hey,
kick that one off.
Kofi, take that other one down there, ain't it? Yeah, I like that one. Part of my autonomy. Yo, matter of fact, Blaze, when we get out of here tonight, we're gonna play your joint. You know what I'm saying? Blaze, grab Blaze real quick before we get out of here. You know what I'm saying? We gonna play your joint though, man. And I'm glad you again when you came and did the. And we got matter of fact, I'm gonna let you tell the people about it. You know what I'm saying? While you're here with us, because your joint went it's on fire, by the way. It's taking off right now. I think people are really being surprised about how you presented the white slavery facts, not narrative. You know what I'm saying?
Facts. We went platinum, Mac. You know what I'm saying? Got the plaque out
Going
there, man.
platinum.
Yes, sir.
Go ahead, tell the people what you think about when you did it. Ed. You know what I'm saying? Before you get out of here on us tonight.
Yeah, for sure. Like, I just want to
Nine back
reinforce
there.
I just want to reinforce the idea that I didn't wake up one day and just said I wanted to talk about white people slavery. I was reminded 3 and 4 times a year of the narrative that if you were melanated, you had to be a slave. And I just wanted to expose the full truth and not half of it like we've been conditioned to. You know what I'm saying? So y'all be on the
Mm-hmm.
lookout for part 2. It's gonna be way more facts. It's gonna be way more content. You know. And shout out to the
Yeah, part
party for
two.
giving me the opportunity and the stage to do it. You feel me?
Oh, that's what we doing. This is that time limits movie. That's what we campaign and do. Thriller. You hear me? Everybody that's pulling in to the party, that's the Lucy. You know what I'm saying? Everybody uniquely. That's what makes us very unique as a party. That's how a party should be set up. That's how a campaign should be set up for Esther Lucy trying to do certain things together. You know what I mean? Especially in the 21st century, so we can do it our way and not the way they tell us. You know what I mean? Because they kind of put us in that position to pardon our autonomy and just do it for us. You hear me? You know what I'm saying? For us, by us. Yeah. That's what it's about. We get to set the limits at this point. So we're gonna play the joint, but before we play the joint, anything you want to say? You fell off for a minute, and then we're gonna slide, man. I appreciate everybody that's in the chat, everybody that pulled up on us tonight from Maroonville. Don't forget though, next week Sunday, you know what I'm saying? Who are their Masi? Past, present, and going into the future. What are their plans? So we got obviously the person that's popular, Say Cool. Now you seen him on a couple of the joints. Shout out to Cootie. He had him. Killer Priest had him. You know what I mean? But I actually know the man because I was there, when they was recognized and got the key to the city. So I'm like, I gotta reach out to him and get him on here because we're gonna have hopefully a very in-depth conversation on the past, the present, and certain things on just history of the people. Because a lot of things that has to be like to say pseudo this and pseudo that has to be pushed out the way. You know what I mean? So we can get a clearer historical understanding of this group of people of the Appalachian territory in the Southeast. Nah, what you got to say before we get out of here, man?
Not much. Just do your due diligence and understand true history. I put another link in there called the Flower Jewel 100, the archaeology of the Virginia plantation from 1619 to 1864, which will show you certain things about who was there and who was coming in, and so that we could get proper context of true history and do your own genealogy. Don't be told that you came from anywhere. Here, Africa, Europe, no matter what, you do your own genealogy and you'll find out where you're from. Attach that to true history and you'll be good.
For sure. As a matter of fact, since you said that, doing your own genealogy as the Autonomous Party, I got to give credit to my man's Opie Miha. You know what I'm saying? Opie Miha has been doing the genealogy in the most autonomous way for you just to go in a non-biased manner and read the historical things that you can see where your people is at, understanding the mixture, maybe what's in your lineage, and the certain names that'll take you back to certain time frames, certain areas. And I think, the free people of color term allows us to not be biased about what we're looking for. And that's why we're going with the certain things that he's led us to go look for certain things. So you won't be biased to what you find. So you can really do the genealogy the right way. And shout out to Opie Miha for that. You know what I'm saying? His series is on our channel. Definitely tap into the last couple of joints he's done. He's been on fire. Feel me? So tap into him. Much love to him and his family. You know what I mean? To my Ohio players up there. You know
Opie Miha, tap into Opie Miha and you can do your genealogy. And after that, grab Lee Cummins' books. You might find yourself part of the swarthy Negroes of the 13 colonies. Shout out to Lee Cummins. You could attach both sides.
Yeah, exactly. Now Lee Cummins, we got him coming back soon. We got some shit. I'm trying to tell you, we've been working on some shit okay. All right now, so don't sleep on us now. Blaze, shout out to Maroon J. Shout out to 9 Ether that pulled up tonight from Maroonville. Whenever, like I said, we have random conversations, certain things happen live though. We're gonna go ahead and still make it happen just like how we do it anywhere else. That's how the party move. Hope you go research everything that we showed you tonight and you get something from it. Or you might add on to it. You feel me? Again, like I said, we're looking for that document. Blaze. Next week, Sunday.
Blaze. Shout out to Blaze. Super Blaze. Gotta Green in the back.
Shout out Blaze.
Mac
yes,
Ether.
Sir.
J, Maroon J. Part
yeah, shout out to Barry too. Shout out to all the ladies in the chat. Miss Sherry, Miss Annette. Love on Purpose, Bria, Nancy, everybody, Davina, everybody that's in the chat. Shout out to a lot of ladies. Miss Stell, shout out to you. You know what I mean? Tap in.
Bang, 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 bang.
This could take quite a bit of time.
Pardon my autonomy. I know one day they'll honor me. This ain't pertaining to 28 Deuteronomy. Self-determination, controlling our situation. Ain't no more indoctrination from pale faces. How the fuck you bummy and broke but a pale racist? My lineage free people of color with a left make each nigga. This right here maroon, now it ain't burgundy. If you plot murder, I'm certain that you'll need surgery. Hurt from when the burner squeeze. Protect the tribe business. Only consulting with governments, tried to tribe with it. Please don't confuse us with those considered native. Semi-autonomy never was in our nature. Just address me as Estelusti. Wild Indian status and Cherokees riding Ruchis. In my war bonnet, if you want it, bring it to your region. And black forces, the same color the European. Pardon my autonomy. I know one day they'll honor me. This ain't pertaining to 28 Deuteronomy. Self-determination, controlling our situation. Ain't no more indoctrination from pale faces.
Aborigines, which means what? Black folks. You never find a white aborigine. Aborigines are called natives, or they're always dark-skinned people. You and I are aborigines, but you don't have to be called an aborigine.
could take quite a bit
Check,
of time.
check. You know what it is, man. One more time for the top, Maroon J. Let's go. Shout to 9. What up, bro? What up?
Part of my autonomy. I know one day they'll honor me. This ain't pertaining to 28 Deuteronomy. Self-determination, controlling
some platinum right here, boy. Let me tell you.
Indoctrination from pale faces. How the fuck you bummy and broke, but a pale racist? My lineage free people of color with a left make each nigga. This right here maroon. Now it ain't burgundy. If you plotting murder, I'm certain that you'll need surgery. Hurt.
Ain't burgundy. What color is that? That's maroon. That ain't burgundy. You gotta get it right.
This could take quite a bit of time.
You know what it is, man. It's the time must party like no other, man. Let's get it.
Part of my autonomy. I know one day they'll honor me. This ain't pertaining to 28 Deuteronomy. Self-determination, controlling our situation. Ain't no more indoctrination from pale faces. How the fuck you bummy and broke, but a pale racist? My lineage free people of color with a left make each nigga. This right here maroon. Now it ain't burgundy. If you plotting murder, I'm certain that you'll need surgery. Hurt from when the burner squeeze. Protecting tribe business. Only consulting with governments, trap the tribe with it. Please don't confuse us with those considered native. Semi-autonomy never was in our nature. Just address me as Estelusti. Wild Indian status and Cherokees riding Ruchis. In my war bonnet, if you want it, bring it to your region. And black forces, the same color the European. Part of my autonomy. I know one day they'll honor me. This ain't pertaining to 28 Deuteronomy. Self-determination, controlling our situation.
Hey, I'm not even gonna play nothing else after this.
Faces.
I can't even disrespect a track like that, man.
Which means what? Black folks. You never find a white.
Don't let me play it again.
Aborigines are called natives or dark-skinned people.
Don't let me play it again. It's my last time, man. We out of here. It's the anthem. You know what it is.
This could take quite
Stand up for your autonomy, man. You know what it is, man. Let's get it.
Part of my autonomy. I know one day they'll honor me. This ain't pertaining to 28 Deuteronomy. Self-determination, controlling our situation. Ain't no more indoctrination from pale faces. How the fuck you bummy and broke, but a pale racist? My lineage free people of color with a left make each nigga. This right here maroon. Now it ain't burgundy. If you plotting murder, I'm certain that you'll need surgery. Hurt from when the burner squeeze. Protecting tribe business. Only consulting with governments, trap the tribe with it. Please don't confuse us with those considered native. Semi-autonomy never was in our nature. Just address me as Estelusti. Wild Indian status and Cherokees riding Ruchis. In my war bonnet, if you want it, bring it to your region. And black forces, the same color the European. Part of my autonomy. I know one day they'll honor me. This ain't pertaining to 28 Deuteronomy. Self-determination, controlling our situation. Ain't no more indoctrination from pale faces.
Aborigines, which means what? Black folks. You never find a white aborigine. Aborigines are called natives, or they're always dark-skinned people. You and I are aborigines, but you don't like to be called an aborigine.
Bang, 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 bang.